Hi, if you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. So, I've been having a thought pop into my mind for the last couple days, but really it's been like just popping into my head consistently today, and that is so you know how like a lot of people always decide not to like pursue music or something because they feel like it doesn't run in their family. Like you always hear artists being like, "Oh yeah, the generation before us was musically inclined, and then the generation before them, and then so on and so on." And it's like, well, that's the thing. I've read a few books. One of them is called Becoming Talented. I forgot who it's by. When I find it, I will let you guys know. And it basically goes over like the steps on how a lot of musicians developed their skills. Be it like oral, being able to, which is like being able to hear it back in their mind without actually having to like constantly like play it right then and there. Being able to like sight read, which is something that I used to not be able to. It's so crazy when I think about it. I used to not be able to do that whatsoever. I didn't even know what the fuck that meant, to be honest with you. And I'm gonna be honest, over the years, I like learned, but the only reason it took me so long is because I never looked at music as a viable outlet for me, whether it was to tell my story or paint a pretty picture, or just even because I used to be a writer more so, like I wanted to be like an author, and then I lost the spark, and I felt like maybe it wasn't cut out for me. But the thing is, like, I never lost the spark because it wasn't cut out for me. I lost the spark because genuinely I felt like there was just more that I wanted to like experiment with, but I didn't realize that that was gonna lead into childhood things that I used to like love doing, which is like entertaining. I used to love singing and dancing and acting, right? So then I started ignoring all of those just so I could um, live a mundane life, if you will, right? And over the years, something just kept saying, no, this what you're doing currently is not something that you're meant to do. And I was just like, yeah, okay, well, what else am I meant to do? Like, and when I kid you not, I have been in and out of community college for over a decade because for the first couple years, I was working towards a business degree in just like general business administration, right? And I was always told, like, oh yeah, a degree in business is a good degree because it's versatile, blah, 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 blah. So then I was like, okay, cool. But then I ended up switching my major. And then I like was like, okay, well, I'll like focus on business financing and all that. Then I switched again, and then I finally went ahead and started pursuing theater, and I had a few more classes. I would have had my associates in theater arts, but then I just got like burned out of school because I was also still working. But then the last time, and this is the ultimate shift, like I did a play and it was amazing, the Velveteen Rabbit, and then after that there was like an internal shift, like a switch just went off, and something was like, music is where you want to be, it's where you're meant to be. And I was just like, no, because again, back to people being like, oh, it runs in generations in my family, and it's like, pause, stop it right there. That may or may not be true for people, but me reading that book, and then in addition to another book, damn, I'm sorry, like all these books, I have them in various places because I'm was like reorganizing my room, but it's like another book that also talks about building and developing that musical skill, and how, yes, some people are born with a gift to be able to, pick up on music faster and learn faster. But just because you don't possess those same qualities doesn't mean that you can't develop them. Now, there is something called perfect pitch, where you basically can hear the pitch for exactly what it is, and you can match it directly. But then in those books they talk about another skill that you develop, which isn't perfect pitch, but it's relative pitch, which means that you can kind of like decipher the different pitches that are close to the perfect pitch. So like you could still, now forgive me, but my terms are really dusty because I haven't read those books in a minute, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't finish the other one because, again, I just got busy with life, making up excuses and shit, and it's just like, fuck. So I started like slowly picking up all the books again, and those are the two books that I need to go back and find. One of them I did finish, but unfortunately all that information just, and I was just like, damn it. But when you develop relative pitch, it allows you to be able to decipher different pitches. Like, it's not on the money like perfect pitches, but it's pretty damn close. And so, and it's so crazy too, because in understanding that, it allowed me to really start working harder and smarter, if you will. And now, like, when I hear a pitch, I hear a note, on the piano, for the most part, I've been able to either come close to matching that pitch off the bat, or sometimes I can straight up match that pitch. Like, and, oftentimes I feel like a lot of people who aren't musically inclined become discouraged because they feel like, well, it doesn't run in my family. I've never been able to do this, that, and the third, like a lot of talented singers often portray. But the thing is, they started really young, which is why they have the vocal prowess that they do, and a lot of them get that training early on, so it reinforces, their knowledge. But what I did learn in the last 2 years of, moving in the direction of music, is that a lot of those artists, they can sing really well, but they can't read music. And that right there was something that I was like, wait, huh? Like, I was always confused. Like, so for instance, you can have an artist like Katy Perry, Beyonce, or what's his name? Calvin Harris, or like any number of artists. Just because they can like hit a note, or they have like a wide range within octaves, doesn't mean that they can actually like sight read or sight sing, right? And I was like, that's actually really wild to know, because I always thought everything like went hand in hand. So then I started to kind of like go on the back end of things, and I started there first. So I started learning how to read music, play the music, and right now I'm working on my oral skills, which will allow me to hear the pitch in my head before I actually hear the note. I keep saying pitch. Hear the note in my head so I can match the pitch without even playing it first. And I think that's like a very crucial skill, especially if you're someone who wasn't necessarily out the gate as a singer. Like, for years I used to hear like, oh, like, it doesn't sound like you're singing, it sounds like you're just talking. So I had like a spoken tone to me. And then I realized, like, at the time, like, I wasn't using the proper breath support and things like that. So it made it sound very broken up. I have gotten better, but I will say I still haven't disciplined myself enough yet to stick to like the vocal warm-ups, because I'm not gonna lie, I hate them. Like, well, sometimes some days like I love them and enjoy them, and the other days I hate them, but it's definitely crucial. So I actually have an app that you have to hook up. Well, they say they prefer like wired headphones, which I don't really use wired headphones. But it like has so many different exercises that you can do to help you build um, breath support, expand in your range, learn how to do riffs, runs, and things like that. And I was like, that's actually really cool. Um, and then there's another app that I downloaded today that helps you learn how to become more rhythmically sound, basically. And I also started, messing around with that, and I got better within, like, I'd say 30 minutes. But it really just boils down to how determined you are and how bad you really want it. And I'm not gonna lie, like, there were definitely times that I was like down and out, and I was like, damn, like I can't do this. And it also really boils down to mindset. If you understand that you can definitely improve and get better and enhance your tonality, you can definitely become a great singer with time, effort, and just dedication. You know what I mean? And like, there's a voice out there for everybody, because I always hear people being like, I don't understand why Camila Cabello is so famous or like so well liked when her voice is so nasally. It's because at the end of the day, singing is subjective. So what one person might find grating on their ears, another person loves it. Like, I actually enjoy Camila Cabello's music. Like, the feature that she did with Shawn Mendes, loved it. Senorita, love that song. Okay. I also love, there's like an unreleased song called Witness. Loved that song. And I also enjoy Never Be the Same. That's also one of my favorites, I'm not gonna lie. Like, and even when she was in Fifth Harmony, a lot of her parts stood out to me because, she has that unique vocal tone. And honestly, if you really just think about it, like, music, it's supposed to speak to you on a different level, like subconsciously, emotionally. So you don't always have to be like the most skilled singer, you know what I mean, to make music. And if you feel like you don't want your voice out there, you can go about music other ways, like being a producer. You can even be a sound engineer if you still want to incorporate music into your life somehow and make a career out of it. Like, there's so many different avenues, but unfortunately, I like all of them. So I've been learning how to mix, master. I've been working on vocal work. I've also been working on being a lot more agile, if you will. Like, I have been trying to learn how to do gymnastics basically with my voice, and I've also been learning how to do the sound engineering so I can go ahead and produce my own damn album. And I'm not gonna lie, like, there have been times recently within like the last couple weeks actually that I've been like overwhelmed, and I had to like take a step back and like really ask myself, like, is this something that you really want? Like, are you completely sure? And of course, like, you can put it down and always come back to it, but when you get to a certain point, you get tired of like doing that, like saying, oh, I'll just go back to, when I'm ready. It's like, you'll never truly be ready, so you just gotta dive into it, right? So that's kind of like where I am currently, and that's why I wanted to like jump on here and make another video letting you know that, like, if you feel like you're not musically inclined, you can become musically inclined regardless of how other people feel, what they say, what they think, the criticism, the judgment. Like, you can do it. And yeah, you'll start off rocky at first. Like, I remember I used to post videos on my old TikTok account of me like singing, and some people would be like, oh, I love your voice so much. And then there'd be other people that'd be like, don't quit your day job. And it's like, got it, girl. Like, don't worry. I'm aware I have a lot of improving to do, but at the same time, like, your comments not going to um stop me from like wanting to do better and get better. You know what I mean? The only reason that I ever really stopped is just because I'm not gonna lie to you, like the constant having to like avoid acidic drinks and like the dairy. There's just like so many little factors because I also love spicy food and they said that that's not good for you, and there's just like so many little things that you kind of have to like take into moderation or give up completely if you really want, you know, to craft your voice to be the way you want it. And it's like, do I really want to sacrifice all the things that I will be honest, that I'm used to? And I think that's like the biggest determining factors. Like, you can either stick to what you know or drop what you know and go in a complete different direction, and it might be scary as hell, but you'll get everything that you possibly want and more. And it's like, damn, like, and so for a while I was really like in that, whoa, what if this and what if that, and then seeing how the industry is currently like just going through it, I was just like, damn, I don't know. Like, so that's kind of why I haven't like solely focused on the music, but it's like, at what point do you just say fuck it and you just like make that your priority, right? And I still have a part-time job, but I've been learning how to prioritize music more and making time for it more. So like before work, even during work, like I'll sit down and on my break and like write music or come up with like stuff while I'm like working, and I'll have like my sticky note with a pen nearby and clutch so I could just and it's like I find time. And then even like when I'm tired after work, like I'll still work on some things. But that's also another essential thing, is like you need plenty of rest, drink plenty of water and all that, and like all that should be mandatory and a given regardless if you're like working on music, like becoming a better singer or not. But it's like for so long I just didn't do those things, and me wanting it like really bad actually has helped my health improve, because I started drinking way more water than I ever used to. I started sleeping more and sleeping better because I go to sleep with the idea of, damn, like I really am making these changes, right? And you know, there's just so many different just like possibilities out there that's like at some point you gotta stop thinking what if and just go for it, because regardless of if you get to where you want within days, weeks, months, years, the fact that you still took a chance and you're working on making it, whatever it is that you desire, happen, that's where all the possibilities become endless. You know what I mean? But if you just sit back and just say, oh, you know, it'd be great if, you know, and then you just continue to sit there, but you're not actually applying the work, or you're not making an effort in any direction, then it's kind of like, well, yeah, of course, the only thing you'll be able to ask yourself is what if, or daydream of what could have been. And it's like, just put your best foot forward and just start making it happen, because at the end of the day, nobody was born out the womb just with a microphone in hand. Like, a lot of them started young, but there's some that started older and started perfecting it and, you know, working towards it. And granted, you can never be exactly perfect, but you can damn sure try, and you can damn sure get there. So if you come across this video, it's just a video that is supposed to encourage you to really put your best foot forward, and don't allow anybody to say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Your job is to do whatever the fuck you want to do, and put your mind and your heart and your soul into making that happen. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, like, never let your doubts speak for your success, okay? Because I doubted so many times that I could do something, and then I just said fuck it, went ahead, did it, and became successful in whatever it was that I was aiming to be able to do. And you know, doubts, they're only there to limit you and stop you from really becoming who you want to become, because other people don't like to see people thriving and successful, which is why they use fear oftentimes as a tactic to keep you in place. And it's like, that doesn't work over here anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could literally say that my voice sounds like fucking nails on a chalkboard and it's grating to your ears. Good. I love that. And I'm gonna continue to grate on your motherfucking nerves every chance I get till the day I motherfucking die. And even in the afterlife, bitch, I'm gonna grade on your motherfucking nerves. But anyway, that's kind of just like what I wanted to do, is come on here, let you know that you don't have to be musically inclined. You can actually build that skill. And nobody is born out the womb being able to pick up a microphone and hit high notes, low notes, and stay on pitch all the time. Like, even the most skilled singers, sometimes their pitch falls flat or goes sharp. So don't worry about it. Just know you're gonna keep doing your thing, and we're both gonna show up for each other. Like, and that's what it is. Fist bump me. Yup. Okay. Yeah, that is it on this video, and I will catch you guys in another video. See ya.